here. I'm here to start another reading vlog. It is July 3rd, which means this is the first official weekend of summer for me anyway that I have off. Last week I was off too, but this is the first real week of summer for me. Also, 4th of July is tomorrow. And yeah, I just gonna read a bunch of stuff this weekend. My goal for next week, for my next reading vlog, is I am gonna read Chain of Gold by Cassie Clare. It's been a big undertaking for me, so I'm gonna kind of spend this weekend reading a little bit of shorter reads. So the book I'm actually gonna start with is what is it called? I think it's Boy Crazy Stacy. It's the graphic novel in the Babysitter's Club series. So I think I'm gonna read this before I dive into. I really want to watch Hamilton. That's been my I really do want to watch Hamilton, but I want to finish this first. It's actually not that long. I think it's 150 pages, and it's really, really pretty and colorful. I'm also in the middle of watching the Babysitter's Club reboot on Netflix. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take a couple of minutes, or maybe 30 minutes, and I'm going to try to finish this because it's actually not that long. And then I'm probably going to dive in and watch Hamilton, and I'll give you guys my thoughts. I actually did see it live two years ago, I think. I think I saw it live, but I didn't get to see it with the original cast. Actually, none of the original cast was there when I did see it, but I loved it. So I really want to see Lin-Manuel Miranda's version of it. I know that they have a documentary as well, so that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to finish this graphic novel, and then I'm going to kind of watch that, and then I'm going to choose my next read. I have an idea, but I haven't solidified my plans yet. But yeah, this weekend we'll focus a little bit on quicker reads so that when I get into next week, I can focus on Chain of Gold. Chain of Gold is another long book. I just finished Legacy by Shannon Messenger, which I adored. That was another long read, so I'm going to try to balance this month with long reads that I've wanted to read for a while and shorter summary beach reads. So, yeah. But I will update you when I'm done with this graphic novel and let you guys know my thoughts. And then we're going to dive into Hamilton. Hey, Lori here. I'm back. Happy 4th of July. By the time you see this, 4th of July will obviously be over, but today is 4th of July. So last night I did wind up finishing Boy Crazy Stacy, which is the graphic novel number 7, I think, in the Babysitter's Club series. Really wound up liking that. Very, very fast-paced story, but this one was a little bit different because it basically followed Stacy and Marianne as they're going on vacation to babysit the Pike kids. So you only got to see them throughout the whole entire graphic novel, and then the only way you saw the other babysitters was through letters, and I kind of like that. I like that we had kind of a smaller cast of characters, and it really did focus on Marianne and Stacy's relationship. I wound up really, really enjoying that read and wound up giving it 3 stars. Guys, I also finished watching Hamilton on Broadway on Disney+. Whatever you are doing, if you have access to Disney+, I recommend you go and watch it. I had the pleasure of seeing this live and in person a couple of years ago, but this is beyond an experience because it's so close, and unless you get really amazing seats, and even then, you're never going to get this close of a vision of that. But it was great. I really, really enjoyed it. I also highly recommend the behind the scenes documentary. And I started watching the Frozen documentary. I really like behind the scene documentaries. That's something I always have really enjoyed. So actually I'm probably going to keep watching the Frozen one today. But yeah, that's my entertainment stuff. That's what I've been doing. Love it. I really can't wait till one day we're allowed to go back and see Broadway shows in person, because I do have a list. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of chat through the books that I hope to tackle this weekend. The first book I'm going to read is More Than Maybe by Erin Hahn, or I think Emma Hahn, or I don't know. It's not like a physical book. Hold on, let me see if I can look it up. Erin Hahn. And that's a country-themed contemporary novel. It comes out late July, I think. Also, another book I really would like to tackle this weekend is Unravel the Dust by Elizabeth Lim. This is the sequel to Spin the Dawn, and it actually does come out this week, so I really would like to tackle this. And if by some chance I also have more time, I would also like What I Like About Me by Jen Glulimi. I got this at ALA. I also am participating in the T-Bar and Beyond Tropical board game this summer, so my first prompt is to read a book with yellow on the cover, which this works for and More Than Maybe works for. So I would like to start getting a start on that challenge. So yeah, these are the 3 books I hope to tackle this weekend. I really have no plans this weekend other than just relaxing and watching some Netflix. But I'm actually going to go get ready for a bike ride, and I will come back when I start More Than Maybe and let you guys know my thoughts. Bye, guys. Sorry, here I'm back. I did take a little bit of a break. I went for a bike ride. I've wound up listening to a couple of episodes of Fandom Buzz from Mackie and Alexa from Alexa Loves Books. I am so far behind on those episodes. Like, I'm about like 2 to 3 months behind, so I really did want to catch up. I also accidentally listened to the wrong chapter of Chain of Gold. I listened to chapter 6. I was only on chapter 3, so I have to go backwards and actually listen to the chapters that I was at because my tracking got mixed up on my audiobook. But other than that, I also did watch one episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender, which was actually very exciting. And I did read 2 chapters in More Than Maybe. So you basically follow 2 point of views. You follow Luke, who I think is like a podcast personality. He has a podcast with his twin brother, and he is deep pining for this girl named Vada, who works where he films his podcast. And Vada really wants to be a music journalist, but her dad is really not that great, and he refuses to give her money for her college education. It has to in music. I know it has to in a podcast. I don't know if he writes music because I've only read 2 chapters, but guys, I love books about music. Like, love it. This has some of my 2 tropes right off the bat. I love books that have a job element. I love books that have kind of like a creative element, and I love books that have dual point of views. Also, really enjoy books that have like a twin dynamic with one of the characters. I really am enjoying it. So I'm gonna actually go watch one of the Unsolved Mystery episodes on Netflix because I love unsolved mysteries. I think that it's a really cool concept, and I'm probably gonna watch it in the background. And I will come back and let you guys know my thoughts. I've only read 2 chapters, but so far, really enjoying it, and that's what I'm gonna go do. So I'll talk to you guys when I read a bit more. Bye, guys. Sorry, here I'm back. It's a 1:34. I did wind up reading quite a bit. Well, a bit. I read like 15% of More Than Maybe. I'm really enjoying this book. So much so that I actually went and got an e-copy from my library of her first books. I think I'm going to read them back to back. I'm really liking it. I'm loving the dual point of view. So basically what's happening is the girl character really wants to be a music journalist, but she's also dealing with a lot of stuff from her past. So she's in like a dancing class, and kind of their final project is she has to create a dance, and she's able to team up with someone from the composing class. And that's when Luke comes into the picture. And Luke has a twin brother. His dad is a a somewhat famous rock star, I'll say. And he is interested in doing music, but he wants to do it his way. And only his way. And he doesn't want to kind of do anyone else's music. So no one really knows that he's composing anymore. So they kind of wind up teaming up together. She's going to dance and he's going to do this composition. But they both have liked each other for 4 years, and they have not said a single word. I have to say, I love Luke. Luke is adorable. I also like the fact that he has a twin brother who is LGBTQ, and I love when books are quite diverse. Also, Vada has a friend named Megan who I also really like. And guys, they talked about Teen Wolf. Can we just say that this book is so awesome? Teen Wolf was one of my favorite fantasy shows ever. I love that show so much, and I just love that they were talking about Teen Wolf, and I love that there's a podcast element. I'm really liking it, so I'm going to take a bike ride. I'm going to actually listen to the chapter of Chain of Gold that I was supposed to listen to previously in the day. So I'm going to go do that. I'm going to still read, and I'm probably not going to read Unravel the Dust this weekend. But I might try to read What I Like About Me if I can finish both Erin Hom's books. That's my plan right now. Anything could change, but I'm going to go for a quick bike ride while I can, while the park's not too chaotic, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Here I'm back. It's about 3 o'clock. I did wind up going for a bike ride. I did wind up reading a chapter or listening to a chapter of Chain of Gold. I just want to make a little bit of progress before I actually start physically reading that book because it does take me quite a bit of time. But I actually am really liking it. There's just a very big cast of characters in that book, and I'm always getting confused who's related to who, but I'm hopeful Eventually, I will get it all straight. But I do like that we are getting point of views from Tessa and Will, because I really like that series. It's probably, if I am home next year, like at all, I'm probably gonna wind up re-listening to that series again, because it's been a bit. It's been, I think, probably since I started BookTube, which is like 5 years ago that I read that series. So yeah, so that's definitely on my that's definitely going to be on my listening list if I'm home next year, because I'll have a lot more listening time. But I did wind up getting up to pay about 25% in More Than Maybe by Aaron Hum. Really enjoying it. They went to like a cool type of club that I've heard about, where like you're listening to your own music. I think that that's like kind of a cool concept. But I do definitely like that. I just like it. I think it's a fun read. So I'm going to go back to reading. I am watching Unsolved Mysteries, and it's hard for me to find cases that I don't know anything about. So these cases are like really intriguing to me. So I'm going to go watch a couple episodes of that. And then I'm probably going to also watch the Frozen documentary. So that's my listening and reading plans for today. I'll update you when I read about up to like 50% is probably where, or maybe even sooner. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the book. See what I have to gush about. Here, I took a little bit of a break because the episode I was watching on Unsolved Mysteries was only told in like subtitles, so I couldn't read while I was trying to read subtitles, but it was actually like a really interesting case. I'm surprised that all of these cases that I've read so far, like the means how these things, like, you know, like there's a solid end to these cases. So I'm just intrigued, because like when I think of like an unsolved mystery, I think that you have no information, or kind of like disappeared, where like the people just vanish. But these cases do have like a solidified ending, which is cool. I do like that. I'm liking the concept. It's just more like they don't know how these people died, or how these cases kind of wound up. So I'm kind of liking that. I've also did make a little bit more progress before that. I wound up getting up to page or percent. Let's see if it will tell me. Like 32% and More Than Maybe. Still really enjoying it. It's quite fun. I'm gonna actually go read while I watch my extra soap, and I will report back with you guys when I read a little bit more, maybe when I get to like 40%. Bye guys. Slurry here, I'm back. I did wind up getting up to about 50% in More Than Maybe. I'm still really enjoying this book. I think it's just such a fun contemporary. I really do not like V's dad, like, at all. Veda's dad, he is just a jerk to like 97 levels. Like, he's rare. Like, I just don't like him. But I do like the character dynamics. I like how music is really becoming a very, very prevalent part. I like that their relationship is super cute. I like that we're getting to learn about the side characters a little bit more. And I did learn her next book is going to be about Veda's best friend, Megan. That's kind of cool. But I'm actually going to go back to watching Unsolved Mysteries. Actually almost done with all the episodes, which is actually pretty cool. And then I'll report back. Bye, guys. Hi guys, Laurie here. I'm back. It's about 9 o'clock. I decided to stop reading for the night. I finished watching all the episodes of Unsolved Mysteries that were released on Netflix, and realized I had read for like 8 hours straight. Well, 8 episodes. So my eyes were pretty tired, and I was giving myself a big headache. But I still really am liking that book. I'm definitely going to try to tackle that book tomorrow and finish it. And that will probably wrap up that reading vlog so I can move on to Chain of Gold. I am going to read Chain of Gold tomorrow as well during my bike rides, as long as it doesn't rain. Sorry if you could hear fireworks in the background, but they're going off all the time now. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I watched another episode of the Frozen documentary, which is actually super interesting. Would highly recommend you check it out. And then I'm probably gonna watch as many episodes as I can tonight. That's probably my plan, because the fireworks are gonna be going off. But yeah, I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Bye. Lori here. I'm back. It's 11:23 on I'm sorry, my days are all crazy. July 5th. Last night I did a bunch of watching. So I watched the whole Frozen behind the scene documentary of Frozen 2. It's like 8 episodes. I wound up really enjoying that. I love behind the scene things. I've always loved that. I was the girl that would watch like audio commentaries when audio commentaries were a thing on episodes, and just watch them and listen to them over and over and over again. So I really like watching behind the scenes stuff. I'm involved in theater, I'm involved in the arts, and I'm a technical person, so I really like watching that stuff. Like, This stuff is fascinating to me. So I wound up watching that. I also watched 4 episodes of the new Babysitters Club, which guys, you really need to drop whatever you're doing after you have watched Hamilton and watch the Babysitters Club, because I love that show so much. I watched all the incarnations. I watched the TV show when I was super younger. I watched the movie. This show, I just love it. I think it's so well done. It's really diverse also, and I think that it deals with issues in like a very, very modern way. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving the group dynamics. It deals with like hard issues like that, like you wouldn't necessarily expect. There's one episode that deals with a transgendered child, which I thought was so interesting. There's a lot of friendship dynamics. It's just so well done. The actors are great. I think Claudia is probably one of my favorites. I really, really like her. And then I watched the Frozen documentary, which is 8 parts on Disney Plus, and I really, really love that. That was really, really well done as well. And I did finish watching Unsolved Mysteries. I think out of all of them, I really like the last one, which was called The Missing Witness. That one was super interesting. And the one that was done totally in Spanish was with subtitles was another one that I really enjoyed. But yeah, so I did wind up doing a bunch of my little errands. I think I'm gonna run up to town because I didn't go up to town yesterday. I'm also still in the middle of reading More Than Maybe. I am going to try to finish that today. So my plans today is I do want to tackle everything on my YouTube queue because it's gotten a little bit long again. That always happens. And then I'm gonna probably finish watching The Babysitter's Club. I also, a long time ago, first when Disney Plus first came out, I was doing a Pixar rewatch because I have never actually seen all the Pixar movies, and I think I got up to Cars 2. So, I don't know, I'm gonna decide between what I actually do want to watch, but I am gonna go for a walk because it's pretty out. So, that is my plan of attack. I will check in with you guys when I come back, and yeah, talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Flurry here, I'm back. It's actually a really, really hot day out, but I did wind up going to town, and that was good. I did also get up to 70%, you guys can't see the cover, of More Than Maybe by Erin Hahn. Still really, really liking this book. I forgot to say it, in this book, basically they're both obsessed with music, so how they're, like, they have a text exchange in this, and the way that they talk is they each send each other, like, a song link on YouTube, and then they, like, listen to it, and that's kind of describing how they feel. I am not that much of a music person, I'll be like honest with you, so sometimes the songs kind of go over my head a little bit, but I'm loving it. Like, I love the music elements. I love Luke's thoughts on performing, because he really doesn't want to perform in front of people. He doesn't like it, and everyone keeps pushing and pushing and pushing because he really is talented. And then you have Veda, who's kind of wants to be a music blogger, and their relationship is just cute. Like, I just find this book to be quite cute. I love the music elements. I love the characters. It's just quite a fun read. I'm finding it to be like a very, very fast-paced read as well, and one that I'm like thoroughly enjoying. So I think I'm definitely gonna go for a bike ride, because I'm probably not gonna go for a long bike ride because it is quite hot, but I do still want to get in my listening of Chain of Gold, because I am gonna start Chain of Gold tomorrow. Hopefully. It depends on how long it takes me to finish this, because I'm about 70% done. If I have time to start another book, or if not. But still really enjoying it. Yeah, she's definitely an author that I'm going to keep my eye out for, because I really like music themes novels. I read Love Song and Other Lies, and I really liked it. I've read Night Music, and I enjoyed it. I don't know if it's the only music themed novels. When I was younger, I really liked the movie Raise Your Voice with Hilary Duff, which is a throwback, but still really enjoying it. And I'm probably going to keep reading. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll report back when I come back home from my bike ride. Bye, guys. It's Lori here. I'm back. It definitely is hot outside. I don't think I'm going to go outside for the rest of the day because it is hot. But I did wind up going for a bike ride. I wound up listening to like a chapter and a half, I would say, of Chain of Gold. That's going to be my primary read. I'm going to start reading that tomorrow for a new reading vlog, so I'll talk about that when I start that reading vlog. But did also read 2 chapters in More Than Maybe at the 75% mark. I'm really enjoying it. They have added an element that I love in books. I don't want to tease the element because spoilers and such, but there's one element in contemporary novels that I thoroughly enjoy. I just really like these characters. I just love them. Like, I'm really happy that we're going to get a companion book, and hopefully we'll see these characters again, but I'm just really for these characters. So I'm actually going to go read. I'm going to probably try to finish it, and I'm going to watch a couple of my longer booktube videos as background noise. But yeah, that's kind of my plan. It is a hot day on Long Island, which is where I currently live. But yeah, I'm going to go read it, and I'll update you guys when I'm about like at the 80-90% mark. Bye guys. Flurry here, I'm back. It's about 3:30. I just wound up getting up to 90% done in More Than Maybe. Really enjoying this book. The climax of the book has hit, and I'm really hoping that someone or something is going to happen that can turn this book around, because right now I'm very, very sad about the outcome of what's happening. Romance involved and everything else that's happening. This is like such a complicated book with so many different plot lines and so many different point of views and so many different elements happening. It's really, really complicated, but it's a book that I'm really, really enjoying. Might actually be a 5-star read for me because I'm really, really loving it. I think it's such a well-crafted book. Really, really liking it. I think it's very, very realistic as well, and I'm just curious to see how it's going to end. It reminds me a little bit of the issues in Hot Dog Girl, like that dynamic a little bit. But I like the characters a lot better in this book, which is awesome. But yeah, I'm going to go back to reading, and I'll check in with you guys probably when I'm done with it, because I only have like 10% left. And I'll give you guys my thoughts. Bye guys. Here I am back. It's 4:30, and I did actually wind up finishing More Than Maybe by Erin Han. I wound up thoroughly loving this book. I thought it was great. I am so picking up her first book. I don't know when I'm gonna do it. I was really gonna start it tonight, but I don't think I'm gonna have enough time because I do want to go into tomorrow into Chain of Gold like kind of fresh. But I loved it. I really love the characters. I loved it has all my favorite tropes in a book, like, all together. And like, I sometimes struggle with like the big complicated like emotions at the end because I think that it's a little bit unrealistic. This one I really did like. I loved it. I thought it had good diversity. It had a lot of complicated like family dynamics. It was just fun. I know that we're definitely gonna get a second book like in it eventually. Like, that's gonna be her next book. Is gonna come out like next year, I think, but I really am excited for that one. But I just love Luke. I think he was great. I love Veda. I love the twin aspect. I love the podcast aspect. I just thought it was so cool, and I really, really wound up enjoying it. So I wound up finishing that. Would definitely give that 4.75 stars, if not a 5-star rate. It's probably gonna be 5 stars on Goodreads, but thoroughly, thoroughly loved it. If you're really if you're more into music than me, you'll probably get like the types of songs they're sending back and forth, because that kind of went a little bit over my head. But other than that, thoroughly loved it. So I'm gonna actually try to read a few short stories in this. Nasty Women, which I've been reading since May, I think, or no, June. So I'm on page 137, and I have to get up to page 226. It's really not that long. It's just a book that I've been like reading like 2 chapters in between every book I try to. So I'm going to try to read a little bit more of this. And I also do have the graphic novel New Kid, which I picked up from my library. They have a new diversity track like on their website. So I've been trying to download a couple of those titles. So I'm going to try my hardest to read a few more of these. There's one story I really do want to get to. But I'm definitely going to start Chain of Gold tomorrow. So that's the plan of attack. But I'm going to go start this, and I will check in when I read maybe like a couple of stories. And still watching my background noise of all my YouTube videos that I have neglected to watch. Bye guys. Larry here, I'm back. I also finally did get a copy of White Fragility, which has been one of the nonfiction books that I've really been dying to get my hands on. And I only have it for 14 days, so that's probably going to be another book that I'm going to kind of read every morning. And I might actually start it today, because I think I have 12 chapters in it, so I have to like read that a little bit more sparingly. But I did wind up reading one short story in Nasty Women. So yeah, I'm actually gonna go work out. I only did one workout today because it was really, really hot, and I want to at least like kind of still stay active and all that other fun stuff. So I'm actually gonna do that, and then I'm probably gonna come in and read a few more of these stories. I definitely think I'm gonna tackle the first chapter of White Fragility while I have a little bit of downtime, because I don't want to start Chain of Gold until tomorrow, because this reading vlog isn't as long as I thought it was gonna be. So I'm trying to like just talk a little bit more and just vlog a little bit more. So I'm gonna go work out, and when I come back, I will have hopefully read one chapter of White Fragility and give you guys my thoughts. So, bye guys. Here I'm back. I just spent like the first 20 minutes just reading like all the prefaces for White Fragility. So now I'm actually gonna read the first chapter. and see if I can make a little bit of progress. I'm really intrigued to read this. I've heard really, really good things from my friends, and a lot of African American booktubers that I follow have also really, really applauded this book, so I do want to do some reading. It's really not that long. It's like not even 200 pages, so I'm going to try to read as much as I can, but I do also want to read another couple chapters in this. So I think I'm going to do is I'm going to read chapter 1 of this, give you guys my very, very brief thoughts, and then I'm probably going to dive in and read the other 3 stories in this, because this is the one that I really did want to read, because I want to get to the story about the person I wanted to focus on. But that's what I'm going to do. I will check in with you after I read chapter 1 of White Fragility, and I'll check in with you guys. Bye. Blair here. It's about 7 o'clock. I did want to reading about a chapter and a half of me and White Fragility, but I am going to dive back into This We Nasty Women and hopefully tackle the 3 stories that I wanted, which was my goal. So I'm actually doing pretty good, and then I'll probably wind up wrapping up this reading vlog tonight and starting a new one tomorrow. But I do think it's really important that I educate myself on anti-racist reads, because it's not a genre that I have read a lot about, and I honestly don't think when I was in school that those topics were really discussed about a lot, so I'm learning a lot both through both of these reads, and I have quite a few more that are on my TBR for the summer, because I do have a lot of time in the summer to kind of devote to that, and I don't really have that during the school year, so I'm trying to use my time to the best of my ability when I'm home and I'm able to. Also, in addition to doing my Skillshare class, that will probably take up like an hour of my day. I'll probably read I think my Me and White Supremacy read will probably finish a lot sooner than the White Fragility book, but I don't have that book as like long, so I might have to double up on chapters, but I am really liking it. I'm gonna dive into reading my Nasty Women anthology, and I'll check in with you guys when I'm done with these stories. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. Lori here. I'm actually here to wrap up this reading vlog. I did actually wind up reading 1 complete book this weekend, which is actually super exciting. More than maybe, I'm reading an e-arc, but it comes out in late July. I wound up really liking it. I'm giving it 5 stars. I thought that it was a great music-themed contemporary novel with like dual point of views. Really, really fun. Definitely an author that I will definitely have to check out, and I'll probably talk about her in my next reading vlog. I will be reading Chain of Gold, but I don't think it's going to take me the whole week. I could be wrong. But I also did really focus this week on reading a bunch of anti-racist literature or nonfiction books. So I read quite a bit of Nasty Women, the anthology, and I read like half of it. I still have a couple of more stories. And then I did start White Fragility, which I'm probably going to do a wrap-up thoughts video on all the books I have. I have like quite a few I do want to read this summer, as I talked about earlier. I'm really trying to educate myself this summer and trying to since I'm not working right now and I have like time, I'm trying to give myself like 2 hours every day where I just kind of tackle some nonfiction reading that's a little bit more challenging. We are in an election year, and I'm just trying to educate myself on more issues that I never really knew existed. But yeah, overall, I had a really, really good week. It was 4th of July. We're heading back to a regular week, which with all the COVID stuff and the pandemic stuff, we're still really not back to normal, and I don't know when we're going to be back to normal, to be very honest with you. But I am super excited to dive into Chain of Gold next week and chat about that with you guys. But right now, I am going to go dive back into the Babysitters Club, and I'll probably talk about that in my next reading vlog, because that's kind of the show that I'm focusing on. But thank you guys for sticking with me, and I will talk to you for my next reading vlog. I hope you guys had a great 4th of July, and let me know in the comments what are some books that you have been reading. Bye, guys.